Alright, so in today's video, we are watching a gold Moira Mercy. Wanting to know how to play around a Wrecking Ball. Now, this is different from playing against a Wrecking Ball. This is what you do when you have a Wrecking Ball on your team. They kind of say they swap back and forth between Moira and Mercy based off of like what their DPS is doing. Their Cassidy's playing too aggro, talking about how huge their plays are, even though it's after a team play. There's a whole bunch of stuff here. So what we'll do is we'll see how do you play when you have a Wrecking Ball on your team, because Wrecking Ball can be pretty good, but how do you make that work is the question. Let's find out. So remember, with a Wrecking Ball, I want to think of a way to explain this. And this might be helpful for supports in general, and I'll pause it in a minute to say, like, how you play with a Wrecking Ball. Because I'll ask you the question on this in a second. Okay. Alright, you ready for this? I want to see how this goes. Not a bad start. Okay, so I'll pause for a second. And the reason why I'm going to pause for a second is because this is a good like way to kind of discuss this in general. Let me ask you a question. If you have a Tracer on your team, are you diving into the back line with your Tracer the whole time as a support? Keep in mind, just a Tracer alone, not like if you're doing a team fight. Just by yourself. Oh, you are? Oh, well, there goes that point then. But more than likely you're not, right? More than likely, I mean, Kiriko's a little bit different, etc. The point I'm trying to make here is that a lot of the time you won't have Moira Mercy dive in with a Wrecking Ball. And the reason why I'm saying that to you is because Wrecking Ball plays more like Tracer. So if you can kind of apply the mindset that your Wrecking Ball is just a 800 HP Tracer who has a similar play style, play that way. And then you'll find out that, like, you don't have to really worry about your Wrecking Ball's HP the majority of the time. Most Wrecking Ball players will come back to you for heals, or they'll go get health packs. If a Wrecking Ball is sitting there and just saying, like, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you keep me alive? Like, etc. Like, that is not going to be on you, because Wrecking Ball is more of a hero that is designed around being self-sufficient, relying on health packs, relying on good movement, etc. So, like, if you are so, like, if you're so into trying to figure out how to make that work, like, it might not go that well, because that's exactly what will happen. So Wrecking Ball, you're gonna allow the Wrecking Ball to go do their thing and not have to worry about the ball so much. That's the first step on that one. So is that the same with D.Va and Doom? No. D.Va definitely not. Doom sometimes, but no, because Doom can come back to you really quickly. Wrecking Ball basically plays more like Tracer. Doom would probably be kind of in between that. So if you're already kind of focused at the beginning of the game, I gotta keep my Wrecking Ball alive. One thing for sure, if your Wrecking Ball says anything to you, that's not gonna be on your Wrecking Ball. I mean, that's not going to be on you. Your Wrecking Ball is going to be, obviously, unless they're standing in front of you and you're just refusing to heal them. Like, that's how you play with a Wrecking Ball. You just let them do their thing, and maybe time a play if you want to, but, like, overall, Wrecking Ball is just basically the way you would play Tracer. Creates pressure in the back line, allows your team to take that space control and go from there. People get mad at you for not healing Wrecking Ball. If Wrecking Ball's in front of you on card, yes, but if you're diving to save your Wrecking Ball, like, Wrecking Ball is such a self-sufficient hero that if I play Wrecking Ball, I don't expect much heals. Obviously, if we're running like a Brick Zen comp or something like that, I might expect a little bit of that because you can just rotate some heals that way. But like, overall, you just get health packs. Like, Wrecking Ball is a go in, distract, get out, grab health packs, rotate back in. If you think that you need your supports to double pocket you while doing that, unless it's a set play, it's not going to work, right? But like, already that's how you're going to kind of play with Wrecking Ball. But I think that also comes down to, like, you said this was in gold, I think. Like, it also takes time for the Wrecking Ball players to know how to play that too, right? Because some people might play Wrecking Ball and expect to be healed like they would if they were just playing, like, you know, Zarya or, like, Sigma, but that's not the case at all, right? This is just a play safe type of situation. I wouldn't overcommit. Yeah, go for Soldier now. Soldier's fine. Yo. But, like, so far, I feel like you have been playing correctly here. You dove in with the ball once. I mean, it ended up being you didn't even have to heal them. But, like, outside of that, like, everything's kind of going fine in that situation. Obviously, they're going to probably start counter-swapping the, you know, on the ball, etc. But so far, it's been a good start. You're kind of playing it how you should. Your Wrecking Ball's been in the back line. You've been doing your own thing. So far, so good. So if you start shifting anything up, I'm very curious to see what that is. Because I feel like so far you're playing fine. Am I wrong? Like, am I wrong?
You cannot escape me. Get ready.
Like, and keep in mind, you haven't seen your Wrecking Ball, right? By the way, right there, don't worry about your Wrecking Ball dying there. That's on your Wrecking Ball. They dove in too deep. You don't have to be there. You probably wouldn't even be able to keep them alive during that. You can survive that easily. Nice. And now your Wrecking Ball's back. Look at it. See? That's it. Oh, that's fair enough, Ben. Thank you for letting me know on that one. What do you mean? Goes well. You know? Orangus, this is gold. I'm watching still. Yeah, worry about keeping your Kiriko alive. Worry about keeping your DPS alive. Your Wrecking Ball will be the last of your worries here. But, like, I don't know. There's got to be something else that happens in this game, which I think will. But so far, so good. That's where I'm at with this one. Ult. There you go. You could have ulted even sooner. Okay. So let's just start off right away. You just had this attack. So I hope that when we go into the next game, I don't see you just swap off to something completely random and change everything up. Because so far, the way that you have been playing, in my opinion, has been good. Straight up. The way you've been playing so far has been good. See, like, right away. You see what I'm saying, though? Like right away. And don't get me wrong. I'm not, like, against the idea of like, going Mercy here. It's more along the lines of, like, what you were doing as a team was working. So sometimes it's okay to play that same comp. I find that sometimes... I find that sometimes there's this, like, mindset of, like, you have to play a different comp on defense. And then, like, people will watch, like, a match and they'll be like, why are the teams playing the same comp on both sides? It's because the team comp can win on a lot of maps. So you don't have to necessarily shift up what you're doing. All you have to do is play the same way you were playing on attack without overextending, right? You can still play the same way. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Like Mercy isn't bad here because you have the Ashe and you have the Cassidy, but I'm also curious as to why you made the swap immediately from the comp you were running before when the Moira was working, right? We'll see, though. I'm not saying that Mercy is bad here by any means or anything like that. I'm just saying I'm more wondering, after having a successful attack, the reason behind this swap. Maybe the teammates were asking for it, and that's totally fair. Right there, by the way, nothing you can do about the Wrecking Ball. That was on the Wrecking Ball. At the same time, I feel like if you're going to commit to, like, helping that Ashe out, you want to help that Ashe out. Side Grinch, thanks for the feature crown. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, here we go. Yep. All right. So far, from what I've seen, is you basically couldn't do anything, and you weren't able to, use your damage orb to go in there, prevent some of their play, do all this stuff. Instead, you just fall over, and here you are. Now, your teammate's gone Kiriko, and you're on Mercy. So now you've kind of changed up a little bit here. Be careful. Don't overextend this. All right, there it is. Wonderful. I'll pause for a second, too. So just to kind of go back to what you're saying there, Sparks, because you bring up a valid point with that. What I'm saying is like I'm more of like this could be just a playstyle difference, right? Like everybody has different playstyles, different like comfort zones and what they want to play, etc. For me, it's like I would probably, like, say I was playing here. If I had a successful like defense like that, I probably would stay on Moira, and then if I felt like I needed to switch to something else after, to like, especially on like second point where like Mercy will really shine. Like second point, I think Mercy's great. Then you make that swap and you do that stuff. That's more of where I was at with that, right? You get what I'm saying? But I think that once again, that's also a difference. It could just be difference of play style too. Like it's not like a necessarily wrong play. More what I'm asking is like, was there communication in the team? And maybe I should clarify this a little bit more. My question is, was there communication at the beginning of that round of like, can you get off Moira? Like, was your team in a situation where they wanted you to switch off the successful comp? You know what I'm saying? I hope this is making sense. I'm trying to explain it, but I feel like it's more, this isn't a discussion about whether or not Mercy is good on second point or first point Hollywood. I think Mercy's fine. More what I'm asking is, like, what led to that? Like, was there a team discussion or is it just more of a comfort pick? You see, that's what we're asking. Is it like, that's it? At this point, from what I've seen, with how your team plays, I would go back to Moira. Actually, no, I'd give Mercy a little bit longer time on second point. Actually, I actually would, because you still have the Ashe. The pocket your Ashe. Don't worry about the ball again. Remember, do not worry about the ball. You will not be able to keep that ball up with the heals. Nice job. This is the play. Positioning, by the way, it's kind of on your Ashe's positioning more than you. Is there a Reinhardt now charging across the map? Wonderful. Here we go. You know. Okay. I'm going to pause for a second. First of all, that was wonderful. But here's my question. Wow, this Wrecking Ball just seems very happy right now. What do you think, chat? So you're worried about your Wrecking Ball? This is your Wrecking Ball right now. Your Wrecking Ball is just having a good time, right? Your Wrecking Ball is just having a good time, and you're worried about the ball on your team. The real talk of this is, and this goes back to discussion, Mercy right here is fine. Your problem is your teammates' positioning. Like, I feel like unfortunately, when you're playing Mercy in this situation, like, you have to rely on your teammates' positioning to be good, because if you have to damage boost them from the low ground, you get caught in these spots. Like, your teammates should be up here.
Happy Friday.
Hatsune, thanks for the 4 months of the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Like, your teammates should be up here. So your teammates being down on the floor, this is how you get charged by a Reinhardt as Mercy on this map. So, like, staying Mercy's probably fine here now because your teammates were hitting the shots, but, like, you need to... honestly, there's a certain point where, like, your teammates need to recognize that if they sit low ground against what they're doing, it ain't going to go well. So, it's more of just a thing on that. Stay in Mercy here's fine for Valk.
Heroes never die.
Yep. There we go.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Yeah, so I you know what, this is actually great to see, like, this point of view on stuff too. I think you really would benefit from not worrying about your Wrecking Ball. I'm serious. I think you really need to stop worrying about your Wrecking Ball. Like, your ball wasn't even in a spot where they were, like, gonna get rolled. And keep in mind, the question about this game chat was, how do you play with a Wrecking Ball on your team, right? So some of, like, the little stuff we're talking about is a little bit different. Good res there. Good job using the movement to get up there. Nice. Good job. Like, you can heal your ball for a second right now, right? But, like, now you leave your ball there. That's it. That's all you need to do. If your Wrecking Ball dies there, that's on your Wrecking Ball. That's not on you. Perfect. This is a good reaction. Good job. Stay with your Ashe. That's what we like. Okay to slightly heal ball right there as they're getting away. Keep in mind, just referencing the positioning again, even you being up on that second floor high ground is going to be better than you standing on top of your Cassidy on the low ground. And somebody mentioned in the chat, you can also super jump up to the high grounds if you really need to, etc. You know, obviously that's going to depend how your movement is, etc. But, like, so far, this is what you want to do. Your cast. Go to your cast, damage boost to high noon. Wonderful. Good job. Perfect. I also want to point something out. Do you notice the difference in team fights when you're not just looking at your Wrecking Ball worrying about their HP? Like, are you seeing, like, at least in my opinion, like, the clear difference in what's happening right now when you just don't worry about your Wrecking Ball? Bibble, thanks for the 7 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Like, do you see what I'm saying? You're not worrying about your Wrecking Ball. Your team is seeing success. That's in your Wrecking Ball. That's on your Wrecking Ball. If your Wrecking Ball falls over and gets rolled in their spawn, that's on your Wrecking Ball. Do not worry about it there. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. If the ball comes back to the team, it's kind of standing there and low, yeah, that's fine. You're playing this correctly right now. You're playing this correctly right here. This is good. Get your team up a little bit. Nice. Use the high ground like you are. Super jump up, and that happens. There you go. You're back up again. Your cast dropped high ground. That's going to be on your cast if they get rolled. Now your team's all over the place. Don't worry about the ball. Don't worry. So in that situation, you hear the Reinhardt, right? The Reinhardt's up there swinging behind you. You can hear him the whole time. That's where you want to use that movement to get out of there. Things like that. Yeah, I think right now, like, I don't know. I'm going to be real. I feel like you've been playing fine this game. I really think that the simple answer to your question is don't worry about healing your wrecking ball as much. And you'll be good to go. Oh, you feel like the Valk was a bit too early? Yeah, I think that was more of like they were just on the same tempo as their team. They tried to Valk and it didn't go as well. I mean, I'm not gonna. They could have been patient there and to go out the left door, but at the same time, I'll be honest with you, like, I think they're just trying to get to the point. Sometimes you try to get to the point, that's what happens. This is a 1v1. I swear if that Ashe dies. Okay, good. Behind you. Behind you. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of pause it for a second, and I kind of want to ask you the question here: what would be more beneficial to your team? You flying to the cart there to heal your Wrecking Ball, who was at about 65% HP, or you just keeping the Ashe alive on the high ground so your Ashe can stay up on the high ground? So I think in that situation, what you want to do is you actually want to stay on the high ground with your Ashe. That Moira should die or won't be able to do anything. And then, like, at that point, your Ashe has good position. Do you lose the point? Maybe. But it's better than you just, like, flying to the point and your Ashe then feeling like they have to go to the point because the Moira can now 1v1 them. You see what I'm saying? So you left your Ashe to get 1v1 by the Moira, which then the Ashe had to get away from the high ground. And then when the Ashe runs away from the high ground, you see what I'm saying? Your Ashe has to leave the high ground, gets rolled, and then no, you're on the low ground, and then you lose the point. So think about what will benefit your team in that scenario. An Ashe on the high ground who's pretty much not going to have anybody on them except a Moira who's not getting them. That's the play. And there we go. Back to Moira. Keep in mind, the Mercy on second point was great. Nope, no problems like playing Mercy there. It's never about the hero selection. It was more about just asking if the team discussion. Clarify that earlier. Okay. Remember, don't worry about your ball. Don't worry about your Wrecking Ball. If they come back to you, sure. If your team's committed to all going in as 5, sure. If your Wrecking Ball's doing that, don't even bother. Now you heal them a little bit, but you're good. You don't have to worry about them. Be careful. Positioning. You went right in front of them. They know you're there now. Don't worry about your Wrecking Ball. Don't worry about your Wrecking Ball. Stop worrying about the Wrecking Ball. Like, that is on you. That is on you. Their team gets snowballed a little bit. This is fine, by the way. The plays like that at the end there, I'm fine with. They don't finish with time, do they? They don't. So it's a draw or a win. That's it. Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, and this goes back to the initial question was, how do you play with the Wrecking Ball on your team? About 85% of this game, you haven't worried about your Wrecking Ball, and it's gone great. The other 15% of this game, you worry about Wrecking Ball, and then your team loses a team fight. Don't worry about the, don't overcommit cooldowns just to get rolled. Look at, do you see what's happening? Do not worry about the Wrecking Ball there. If they get your Wrecking Ball, you're gonna fall over if you're committing cooldowns to get to your Wrecking Ball to save them. If your team is playing as a core, that's a different story, right? But let the Wrecking Ball just play Wrecking Ball. It's like having a Tracer on your team. We're watching. We're watching. Okay. Remember, you don't have to worry about your ball. Keep your teams alive. Keep your teams alive. Keep your teammates alive. You can do this. Work with your team. Keep your bash. Just work with your DPS right now. Don't worry about anything else. Now you can heal your ball a little bit, but don't overcommit, because now they know you use your cooldown on them. Okay, you got lucky they didn't go for you. That's fine. Okay, now you're on the point. Nice job. Back away from that ult. No one should die to that. Oh, wait, there was a Widow there. Nothing the Widow can do about that. Got slept. Turn your team. Ball's dead there. It's fine. Regroup. Now, I want you to be careful with your Moira ult here because they do have Sombra who can hack you out of it. I want you to use your ult, but I want you to be careful of it. You could also just debate them and try to get them to use EMP really early. Wait, there's a Sombra. This is your timing.
Let the kitsune guide you.
All right, don't be too safe with your ult.
Surrender to my will.
You might have given them the opportunity to EMP it, though, which is kind of the problem. Oh, I think you lose this. Oh, maybe you win this. Heal an orb. Heal an orb. Oh, wait. You win. Do you lose? You win. You won. There you go. Oh, that was tough. So I'll leave it here because this is a perfect point to showcase this, by the way. That is when you want to heal your Wrecking Ball. Your Wrecking Ball is close. They're next to you. You're not overcommitting to keep them healed. Do you see what I'm saying right here? How you're not overcommitting to keep them healed? This is the timing. But overall, I think the majority of this game, that when you didn't worry about your Wrecking Ball, you won and played well. And when you tried to go and worry about your Wrecking Ball's HP because they were critical, like 80 meters across the map, you overcommitted and got rolled. So just to summarize, because this was the main question, what do you do in that situation? Heal your Wrecking Ball if they come to the team. If they don't, just worry about everything else. Think about his Wrecking Ball is like I said, a tank tracer. And if you start to recognize that, you'll be fine. So that's how I see it. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. Got everyday uploads on there. A lot of awesome videos. If you want to submit your own spectate and look in the description below, you will see my Discord. That's where you submit spectating stuff, play the games, funny moments, all the stuff we do, which is awesome. Also, we record these live on stream. If you look below the webcam chat, you can see the chat right there. That's the Twitch chat. We have a lot of fun here. Stop by if you haven't. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day/night.